It's interesting to note the ass calls around the islands. Like this one's obviously got some border collie in it. You can tell the colorations. He's hanging out in the trash pit getting some breakfast. And the chickens are getting big. Caballo. Hey y'all, it's Ned over at My Philippine Dreams, N to the E to the D over at MPD. And I'm just going to do a quick video. Yes, it's actually going to be a quick video. It's got 3 reasons for doing it. First reason is I'm testing this new microphone to see if it cuts down on wind noise, because wind noise can be a little unnerving when you're shooting video. The other one is because I've been up since 4:30. I discovered this thing called mañanita, which means like little morning or something. And it's a rarely practiced birthday celebration type thing where local troubadours, gypsies, and guitarists and singers and all that show up at a person's house at around 4:30 in the morning and start singing happy birthday to them. The problem is when you got all these people in close proximity to each other, you get the dogs howling and barking, so I've basically been up since 4:30. I got to bed around 12 o'clock last night. Okay, enough whining, bitching, and complaining. The third reason, and the most important reason, and the gist of what I'm trying to convey here, what I'm trying to say, is after 2 years in the Philippines, I just did my 2-year report on living in the Philippines. The biggest amount of problems I've had have been with other foreigners. I've had 2 physical altercations, I've had numerous arguments, and there's also a great deal of chismoso, character assassination, schadenfreude, all that stuff, talking about people when they're not around. It just gets really ugly really quickly. It's not good for you. A lot of times the stuff's not even true. Like when someone comes up to me and starts saying, hey, you see him over there, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, you know what? I really don't want to hear it, because what happens is every time I see that person, the person that's being talked about, I'm going to be thinking of what that person told me. And it's usually not something positive and uplifting and, you know, good for your spirit and character. It's usually something really negative and disgusting sometimes. So when people start up with the chismoso and all that, I'm usually like, you know what, I really don't want to hear it, but maybe you could go talk to that guy over there. Maybe he'll be a little more receptive. A case in point and a good example of how, a recent example, we'll call him John. John was killed about 2 or 3 weeks ago. He was riding his bike, a tricycle swerved out. He tried to get out of its way, and there was a sugarcane truck, and it didn't end well, and he was killed. Not too many foreigners get killed in traffic accidents in Dumaguete, so it kind of stuck out. Also, there was nothing on the local news, nothing on Hulagawai or anything like that in regards to his death. Now, John wasn't the most well-liked guy in Dumaguete. He had some issues, he had some things going on. He had been here for a long time, and he had rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Which is all, you know, part of your Philippine experience, I guess. The problem lies, I just stepped on a cow patty. The problem lies in the fact that people took enjoyment out of his demise. Saying things like, oh, it couldn't happen to a nicer guy, I'm glad he's dead, you know, one less freaking mouth breather that we have to deal with here. The problem is, people forget, and they forgot pretty quickly, that he has 2 kids. He was a single dad, raising his 2 adorable little daughters. I think they were aged 9 and 5. They're still alive. Thank God they weren't on the motorcycle. And so now they have to grow up without their dad. And say what you will about John, and there's a lot of bad things you can say about John, I'm sure, if you got nothing else to do. He took care of his kids. He loved his children, and they were the apples of his eye. And now they got to grow up without a dad. So you'll hear people, and I heard people talking smack about him dying, couldn't happen to a nicer guy, another shit stain erased from the Philippine expat wall of shame. But again, you got to remember what's left behind, and it's the lives of those 2 little girls. So schadenfreude, chismoso, character assassination, having problems with other foreigners, that's been my biggest challenge. Well, that and the heat. That and the heat and the burning stuff have been my biggest challenges and biggest issues and biggest problems I've had since living in the Philippines, since coming here November of 2013. Okay, I just thought I'd share that because it's really been gnawing at me, it's really been bothering me. This is Ned over at My Philippine Dreams. I'll see you next time, and I should be having my 2-year report up soon on video. Oh, if you want to see my 2-year written up summation of my last 2 years here, you can go over to our website. I'll put a link in the video, or it's down in the video description box, and you can check that out, where I rant and ramble about all kinds of different things. This is Ned over My Philippine Dreams. We'll see you next time. Bye.